Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Resurwreck Autos HQ. So guys, it is part 2 on the B-Max. We're doing the clutch. I definitely think it's a slipping clutch because of the amount of mess that's inside that gearbox. It's just, yeah, I definitely think it's that. But if it's not, then it's going to be the TCM, which is the transmission control module, which is going to be another to buy it and to get it transferred. You've got to transfer the data from one to the other. It's going to be another £600. Yeah. So hopefully this does it, and I haven't got to spend that £600. On this car again, because I've spent a lot of money on the tools to remove this clutch. I have put it on the bench, the clutch there, just there. So let's have a quick look at it. I'll show you the setup, and then we're going to get cracking, and then we're going to remove that clutch, give it all cleaned up inside. I'm still waiting for Parts Plus from Ford's main supplier. They're going to bring me out the oil seals that sit inside the gearbox. I'll show you those. So yeah, I think that's where it's leaking from, I've got to be honest. So let's get into it, guys. Let's do this. Right, okay, guys. Yeah, as you can see, I didn't put this on myself. I needed help, but it's on the bench. It's a bit high, I've got to be honest, but I still should be able to get in there and get this all replaced and cleaned out. It's an absolute mess in there. Really, really dirty, oily. You can see it all there as well, like it's all like powdery, but then like it's all shiny. So it's not good. So yeah. Fun and games. I have left that drive shaft in place because I've tried to remove it and it ain't coming out. And I don't want to force it. I don't want to cause any problems or any issues inside. So I've just left it. Just left it like that. It's fine. It just means I can't replace that oil seal in there. So, but I don't want to cause any damages, any problems to it. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's going to have to stay like that. Right, okay. I've also got to make this a little bit sturdy because we're going to have to, inside there, you've got the forks and you've got other bolts that you have to torque down correctly. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I am going to screw these bits of timbers down like this, probably. Screw that one down like that so that's solid against there. And then get another bit of timber against there, like that, and then screw it down as well. Luckily, got timber bench, but this is, this is ideal. So I put a bit of timber there, screw it down, and that will lock it in place. So that when I'm torquing it, it's not going to move. It's going to be solid. So, yeah. What else? Right. So, the first thing we need to do with this is you can see a little snap ring. There's like a little ring here that goes all the way around, and it's got a little groove there. You see that little groove? It's like cut. So we need to remove this, which is pretty easy, I've got to be honest. I've seen loads of pictures, not pictures, I've seen loads of videos, and you just get like a little slotted screwdriver in there, pop that out, and that comes out pretty quick. Let's have a look, see if I can do it now. I don't know if I've got this is the right one. So that's basically how we do it, like that, and then we get underneath it. I can do this 2 hands here. There we go. Nope. But you get the idea. That snap ring comes out, and then that centre hub, that just pulls straight out. And you can see there's a white line here. On the new one, you can just see the white line there. Because what it is that underneath, you can just see the little notch. underneath the clutch there, little notch. Well, that obviously the snap ring's got to go around that notch, so that's where it sits. And then obviously you've got the, you know, the white line on this hub. That white line there has to sit and line up with that. So, you know, there is a certain procedure. There's a certain way that this has got to come out and go back in. You know, it's quite complicated, so you've got to do it right. So I'm just following the procedure that I'm watching. There's another YouTube video that I'm watching how to do it step by step. So if I'm going away and coming back, it just means I'm checking and making sure that I'm doing every step the correct way. So let's get set up. Do whatever I can for the moment, because we've got to put that on top. Before you put that on top, you've got to put these. And they go, basically, they go around the clutch there, like this. Like that. And they sit like that. Somehow. So you've got to find, you've got to turn it. It's going to be difficult, this, isn't it? So I've got to find the right location for these to sit on the clutch, and then you use that. You see that, and then you put the plate on top of that, and with a bearing there, and it pulls it up. So let's get set up and make a start. So yeah, let's do this. Right, I just want to cut in there, guys, just to explain what I'm doing. Basically, this snap ring that I showed you come out pretty easy, and then you've got this actual spline that sits there. I told you about that one, didn't I? So it sits like that. That's how it sits. It sits in there like that, yeah, with that white line lines up like that. So that's that one. But there's also another snap ring which is underneath, that was underneath this. It sits underneath. It's just in there. But what you've got to do is you've got to put this bar on and then force it down, just a notch. You can hear it go click. Once you've done that, take that off. So you can see that obviously there's a little notch out there, so you can see what is going on. So you remove that one, and that is the little snap ring that goes around there. So all you're doing is releasing it just enough for that snap ring to release with these pliers. And then all you do is you stick it there like that, and then release it like that. Nope, hold on. Is it going to let me do it? Yep, it's just starting to come out now. So you can see it's just starting to come out now, and then it just flicks around. And then once I've done that and removed that snap, the other ring that goes around that, then we can put this back on with these. With these things, and we're gonna then pull the whole clutch out as one, and it should all come up as one piece after that. So yeah, let's continue. I'll set you back up. Let's do this. Well, guys, there we go. That is the clutch out. So, yeah, you can see, you know, what happens is obviously it supports it there with these legs. It's got 3 legs. And then you've got that in between this one here. Sits in between. And all you're doing is you're pushing it. You're putting that, that goes in the middle. And you're just screwing that down. And it raises the clutch up off the actual input shaft here, and it just sort of pushes it up, and there's like a bearing inside that clutch. Right, see that bearing here on the new one? That's all you're pressing in. It's not a lot. It's not thick. It's not big. It don't take much, but it has to. Yeah, you have to use this tools to remove it safely. This is the safest way to do it. I've seen it online, where people have got it in there and they're using crowbars and they're barring it up, and it just looks horrific. So there was no way that I was going to do that. You have to obviously do it the right way. So now you can see these are the forks that I showed you on the newer ones as well. There's a bigger fork and a smaller fork there, and this is the input. This is the release bearing here that sits like that. But I just want to show you what I found when it comes to this. Let me try and get that, give it a little bit of light. Give it a little bit of light like that. So I just want to show you. So inside, there's two oil seals on this. Like I said to you, they've been delivered by Parts Plus. One of them is right down there. Now I'm going to try and get the camera so you can see right down. Can you see that oil seal down there? It's the black. There's a black one right down there that goes, you know, around this shaft. So I can already tell that because it's the black one, it's the original one, and they've upgraded the original one to a better one. The other thing I found as well is that if you remove this has got to come out anyway, but if you remove this like this and take it off, there's 2 parts. One, you can see that it's split. You've got one lower and then one upper. Because it's the dual clutch, you've got two in there. So one of these forks does one, the other fork does and the other one of these. So, but what I want to show you is that if I remove this top, yeah, look at all that oil in there. Look at it all. So, you know, this is another look at that. It is all over it. So this is another reason why I believe it's actually slipping, because this is covered in oil. And you actually just lift it off like this. Yeah, and that's it. But this is the release bearing. So the fork, what happens is the forks, they go into the release bearing and lift it up and down like this. So it kind of, that's how it works. But it is covered, absolutely covered in oil. So Potentially not. I don't think it's the basically underneath. Let me just try and explain this. Let me try and explain this to you. Underneath, stay. This part here is a sleeve, and there's 3 bolts, Torx T30, that's holding that down. Underneath that sleeve, on the bottom of the shaft, there's another oil seal that goes around, a larger one. Again, it's going to be the black one, because this one in here is black, so that one down there is going to be black. I don't think the lower one is leaking oil. I think it's this one that's leaking the actual oil. In that case, it will be all over the inside of that clutch, because the shaft is there and the end up here going all over this, and it's just everywhere in there. So I think, yeah, I think it's worse because it's coming from that part there, and it's just going, it's just moving around and it's flicking everywhere. So, but yeah, there we go. Right, I am now going to continue removing all this. All right, and we're going to give it a good old clean up in there. I'm still waiting for me oil seals to turn up, but we can continue for the moment. So let's get these forks out. These are the forks that I was telling you about. And then what happens is, where's my tool? I'll show you. We done the test yesterday. But yeah, so if you stick the tool in there that we did yesterday and then turn it, you can see that's what it moves it up and down. You can see it moving. And this is what they were saying to me at Ford's. If these are good, which they look like they are, these forks are the more reliable ones compared to the newer ones. So yeah, it's just a bit of working out, but we will get there. They're looking good condition as well, the forks as well. I don't see any problem with them. You know, there's no damage to them. I've got to check the other one as well. Let me just turn over like that. Check this one. But we've already done the actual check on these forks, and they feel really good. They just need a clean really, and a service and check, because on these forks, we'll have a good look at them once I remove the forks, but underneath them forks there's 2 rollers, and they go backs and forwards on a plate at the bottom, and all this dust, you can see all this clutch dust goes all over these. So they just need a good clean up really. So yeah, another procedure. So let's get these removed now. You've got Torx 30s there, you've got 2 of them, 1 each there, 2 there, and then you've got these reverse Torx, I think it is. Not quite sure, but yeah, I'll work out what we need. It's going to probably be one of these, isn't it? I reckon it's one of these. Yep, it is. It's that one there. So this is a E10 to get these out. And they're torqued as well. They're torqued down to a specification. You've got these lines. Can you see these lines here? They have to go in a specific order as well. And you can't mix up these as well. These are like spring. You can't mix them up. You know, this is, yeah, it's quite involved, isn't it? So let's continue. Let's get the forks out and then get that sleeve off so we can see the lower oil seal, and we'll go from there. So yeah, let's do this. Right, okay. So, guys, look at I've set you up on the tripod there. Look, I've had to get up on steps to get up to the camera to see, because, you know, it is what it is. But this is, now we're really in there. So you can see where the forks sit. They sit on those sliders there, which, I've got to be honest, they're pretty clean. I haven't touched any of this inside. But I want to show you what I found, because this sleeve here, see that sleeve? Yeah. Underneath there is an oil seal. Okay. And let me show you what I found. So, look at that. Look at that oil. So yeah, there we go. I think we have found the issue of why this clutch is slipping, because that is clean oil there. Look at that. All this problem because of that oil seal. I don't think it's not necessarily that one in there now. It's definitely that one there. Look at that. That's fresh gearbox oil. And you can see that obviously it's the black one all the way around. It's the black seal. The new one hopefully should come in a different colour. It's like a orangey, browny, copper colour oil seal. I'm hoping that's what's going to turn up, because they're the apparently they're the better ones. They're the upgraded. They're designed better, and they're going to definitely last a lot longer. So yeah, I reckon. I don't even think you can tell. I'm going to try and spin this over to see if we can see anything in there. I don't think we'll give it a try. Nah, you can't really tell whether or not it's been. You can't really see the clutch plates, I've got to be honest. They're just hidden and buried. But yeah. I think that's the problem. And if it's not the problem, it will be a problem, if you know what I mean. So it's a good job that we're doing this, and we're swapping it out, and we're changing it, and we're making it all nice and clean, and we're putting a new clutch in there. It's just, it's just a good job that we're doing it, because if it ain't the cause of it, which I can't, you just never know with these kind of gearboxes and these clutches and these. You just really don't. It's contaminated. You know what I mean? So just a little bit of oil will contaminate the actual clutch plate, and it will start slipping, and you can't. It won't grab, and it's not. It's like I haven't got a clutch to show you, but the clutch plate itself, the surface of the clutch plate needs to be. Yeah, it can't be oiled up and contaminated. So there we go. Right, I'm going to have a good clean up now on the inside whilst we just wait for these oil seals to turn up, and then we're going to do the reverse and put this all back together. But first of all, we're going to clean this up and change those oil seals. Yeah, again, you have to have special tools to do this job, which is this one. Just to show you what I've got. So I have to get this. This is another set you have to get. So to remove and to refit the oil seal that's in there, you have to use this. So that goes over the top like that, and it screws into. You have to take that bolt out first. It's too long in there, and it goes down to the bottom, and then you do this up here like that, and this bit digs into the oil seal, and then once you've dug it into the oil seal, you do this nut up, which pushes it up and out and pulls that oil seal outwards. This is the only tool that you need that will do it, basically. And then once you've done that, to refit the tool, to refit the new oil seal, you put that over the top like this. You put the oil seal down, and then you push it down, press it down. Same with the lower one. Once you have to pick out the lower one. There's no tool for that. But once you've got the new one like that, you put that in place. You put the new oil seal down over the top of that. Then you get this over the top of that, and then you tap, 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 until the new oil seal is flush and level, like the one that's in there. So that had to be got as well, because I knew I had to do this job regardless of whether or not it was leaking or not, I was going to replace those seals, regardless what I found. So, yeah, this is the reason why people don't want to do these jobs, because they're involved, you know. And I spoke to a few mechanics. One of them said he doesn't even all of them said they don't bother with them and they just send them to someone else. Basically, no, we don't do that. You have to go somewhere else. One guy that I do know, he will take the job on, but he removes the gearbox, but then sends this gearbox with the old clutch in to another shop and let them do it. And yeah, in total, he charges about £2,000 just to change the clutch on one of these automatic transmissions. But yeah, incredible. So there we go. Hopefully, once we do all this and we put it back together, it is going to be okay. But again, we don't know because of this TCM, transmission control module. This could be at fault still. We really don't know until we start, you know, putting it all back together and putting it and resetting everything. And resetting everything. And do all the learning as well. Once you've done all this, you have to plug the computer in. You have to teach it. You have to learn the new biting points. There's a lot to this. But let's carry on. Let's have a clean up now inside there. I'll set you back up on the tripod up there so you can see what I'm doing. And once we've cleaned it all up, we're going to remove these oil seals. So let's do this. Right, okay. Well, guys, we are getting there. So you can see now what I'm talking about, the colour difference with the original one, the black one, and that sort of browny copper colour oil seal there. These ones are supposed to be the newer ones. Got them from Ford's. It's one of them there, and the other one is on here. But yeah, you know, these are the two new oil seals that we used. Like I said, I did get oil seals for the drive shaft oil seals, which are these ones here, and you get this like I don't know what it is, like a plastic. It can actually come with some instructions as well. Look, and you just sort of put that plastic bit inside, and you're supposed to do that. But I'm going to probably take it out. I've got to be honest. So I'll whip that one out. And switch it over for a new one because it's so easy. It's right here. You know, you couldn't get any easier to do a drive shaft seal than this. It's right there, so I can just sort of use that. I don't know if I can be able to open this now. Let me just open this. Come on, split. Come on, split. Just trying to do it with one hand here. There we go. Here we go. I'm in. All right. So. Come on, let go. You won't let go of the bag now. That's it. So yeah, I don't know how this. I'll have to read the instructions to see how this works. Don't know if you take that old one out, then put that in, and then the new one fits in there. I really don't know how that works, but I'll work it out, and we're going to change that one. Also, the one that was at the top. There, inside there, can you see it inside? So it's right down there now. So nice new oil seals on both these two. That one, the one that went down there, was an absolute pain to get out. You can see that this is why these tools are you know, essential for this job. Having these tools, because that there went in, pulled the seal out. But left in, down there, and I had to dig them out, was these parts. And you can't leave those in. They've got to come out. They got stuck down there. And it's quite a normal thing for it to do, apparently. So, but yeah, we're getting there. Look how cleaner it is in here as well. A lot cleaner. So, yeah, much better. So I think now what we can do is just carry on. Let's move on. We're going to put this here. There's a locating tab there, which goes that way. And it locates in there like that. We're going to put the 3 screws back in place. I am going to put a touch of Loctite, I've got to be honest, on these ones as well, just to make sure. So I'll put a touch of Loctite on those bolts that was holding those 3 down, and then we'll continue doing the forks. So it'll be like this fork first. We'll clean it all up, put them in place, but you can't, when you put these forks in, you can't do them dead tight because you've got to put the actuators back in position, push it into the forks to make sure it's in the correct position, then you can torque it down both sides. So there is another process that we need to do. So let's let's get set back up. Let's continue, and let's do this one. Let's do that first. So yeah, we're getting there, guys. Let's do this. Right, okay, guys, making some great progress now. First of all, you can see we've got a nice new oil seal on that drive shaft there. So that's done. The forks are in place and they're all set and torqued down to what they should be. You can see, obviously, there's a little notch line just there. Let me just go in a little bit more. There's a little notch line just there. It's got to line up with that there. All of them, they've all got to line up. All the way around, and then that way, that's your points where you hold it, and then you torque them down. I have put a little bit of, like I said to you, a little bit of Loctite on these these torque ones in the middle there, and I didn't do it on these because they're torqued down, so they're all set and good. You can't really tighten these down, these two forks down in the position until you put the actuators in place, which are there. Look, so you put these on, and then you can set the forks in the correct position and then tighten them down. Because what you don't want to do is that, you know, try to fit these actuators at a later date, and they're not set in the right position, and it won't just go in. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to have a problem, but that's part of the procedure that you just sort of look. See, they just go straight in with no issues, and they're in nice and flush. So yeah, and then just to sort of double check that everything's okay, we get our tool. Where is it? Oh, where is it? It's probably looking right at me. I can't find it now. I don't know where that is. Where's that gone? It must have been just I've been using it. But yeah, I'm going to get the tool that I showed you earlier to put inside there just to test, to make sure that they are going up and down correctly. It's here somewhere. It's probably looking right at me. Just laughing at me. I haven't moved anything. I've not moved it. I've not moved that tool. It must be here. God's sake. What have I done with that? I'll find it, guys. Don't worry, I'll find it. It's not this one. It's not that one, which is the Torx 30, which is for that one in there. It's not that one. Oh, so annoying. I can't just grab it and pick it up and show what I'm going to do. So annoying. Anyway, I'll have to find it. It's here somewhere. Oh, nightmare. But yeah, I just want to put it in there and just double check that they move up and down. I'll do the same on the other side. Take that actuator out as well. Actually, it might have fallen under the gearbox. No? All right. So we'll do that. But the next step really is to just got to put a little bit of multi-purpose grease on this spline. Multi-purpose grease on this spline. A little bit of grease on these end of these forks. Just a little bit on all four forks. And then a little bit of transmission oil just around there, because that is where the bearing actually slides over. So a little bit of transmission oil on that bit there. And then the clutch, the new clutch, can go in place, and then we can use that tool to then push the bearing down. It's not a big bearing, like I said to you before. It's only a little bearing, look. And that's where you got to push. That bearing there has got to push over that, so that groove, we can put that circlip back in place. So, Yeah, but we're getting closer. Before we do all that as well, we've got to put this back in, which is the release bearing. So I'll grease up all the areas, and then we're going to slide that back into position like this. And it basically just sits like that. And then you do that one first. That way. Get it the right way. That's it. Goes like that. And then that one sits on there like that. So that is the release bearing. As the forks move up and down, it moves. One moves one, and the other one moves the other one in to the forward and reverse gears. So yeah, but look how much cleaner it is in there. Like, just so much cleaner. Don't get me wrong; it's gonna get dusty again because the brake, the clutch plates just wear away, and it's clutch dust. That is just nothing you can do about it. It's gonna happen again. I know someone did say, dropped me a message last night and said that, as far as he's concerned, these have to be done in a concealed, closed unit so that the dust won't get in there. Well, you saw the amount of dust that was all in this gearbox. So fitting that in somewhere where you can't get no dust in it, what is complete? Someone's lied to him there, because the amount of brake dust, clutch dust that goes inside that bell housing is horrendous. So yeah, let's take that back out for a minute, because we know we've got to put a little bit of multi-purpose on these forks before we put that in. So yeah, I'll set you up, guys. Let's carry on, do all that, put the clutch on, and then we'll start pressing it down and get this ready to go back in the car. So let's do this. Right, okay, well guys, there we go. She's all back together. Just making sure everything sort of lines up, and how it come apart and stuff like that. Just these lines have got to line up, you know, that sort of stuff. I have found the tool. I thought, is it at the bottom inside the gearbox? It's not. It's here. So yeah, found the tool, because these clutches, when they're new, they come like when you get delivered or whatever, delivery transport, they're locked, and you have to unlock them for them to work correctly. So let me just show you on this one. Oh. So when they're locked, this is all compressed down, and can you see that little metal bracket thing here? they are locked on these here. And there's that one, and that one. So you got 3 on this one. And on the next one down, which is this one here, can you see these two they're that prongs? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 there. There's 4 there. And there's 4 there. These little get locked in those. Can you see the holes on the others? Those little metal brackets get locked in there. So it has to be unlocked, and it has to be unlocked now before before anything else. It's got to be unlocked. Now, how you unlock them is you have to turn them 14 times, and then they'll unlock. So we need to do that now. But what I want to do, let me set you up on the camera. We'll do this live so you can hear it unlocking on both, because it's obviously, you know, there's 2 clutches in there. Those 2 clutches have got to be unlocked. So we've got to do both. So let me get you set up, guys. And then I'm going to do this live to show you. We're going to unlock the clutch so that it's done. And then once we unlock the clutch, then we can move the forks backs and forwards, up and down, and check all that sort of stuff as well. But so far, so good. It's going back really, really well. But let me set you up, and yeah, we'll unlock the clutches now. Let's do this. Right, okay, so let's unlock these clutches. 1 there and 1 there. 14 times, guys. Okay, let's do this one first. That way. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You hear that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So now, should just spring back slowly, like that. Right, so that's one unlocked. Let's unlock this one. So again, 14 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You heard that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So again, you just let it go slowly, not all at once. All right. So there you go. So that is both clutches unlocked using that tool. So, but you can hear, obviously, the mechanism in there. It's releasing them. So now, yeah, it's good to go back in. We've done it all. Apart from obviously, well, we can do the actuators. We can put back in afterwards. It doesn't, you know, once we fit the gearbox back in, that's not a problem really. But it's just nice just to check. Then make sure they've got a spring back. So as you do it, it's got a spring back on its own. You know, there's got to be some tension there, which there is. So, oh, another little step forward. Yeah, lovely little spring back. Right, well, there we go. That is all ready now to go back in the car. And we've just got to line up the bolts. Which one is it? There it is there. We've got to line up that one there with the one that's underneath there. The only trouble is with that is I've now put the sump underneath. So I can't now see, because the sump's in the way, that one's got to line up with that one. So it's, yeah, it's a little bit, it's going to be a little bit fiddly now, but we're going to do this tomorrow. I've definitely had enough for today. That is just took me most of the day to do this, you know. But I wanted to make sure, I didn't want to rush it. I wanted to make sure that I was doing every step in the right procedure, the right order, and it's turned out really well. But you can see now that, you know, you need these tools. You need these tools to remove and put in the clutch. And you need this tool here to remove and fit the oil seals as well. So, yeah, it's not, you know, it's not a cheap job, but every mechanic said it to me, like, it's not a cheap job. It's quite an expensive job. It's special tools needed, very expensive clutch to buy, which it was, but it's done. So hopefully now, fingers crossed, when we put everything back together, we're going to have no problems and it's going to drive and run okay. So that's it, guys. Tomorrow, this is going back in, and we're going to see tomorrow if... Tomorrow? No, not tomorrow. I'm not in tomorrow. We're going to have to come back on this on Monday. So, yeah, tomorrow's Friday. So, yeah, it'll be now on Mondays, guys, because I've got to do stuff tomorrow. I've just remembered. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know why I'm apologising, but I just have to... but that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you Monday in the next video when we're going to put this back in and hopefully it runs okay. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. See you soon.